From the host to Super Bowl 50 back in February of 2016, there's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the New Orleans Saints and the San Francisco 49ers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, set. Ultra. Go ultra.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. This defense for the Saints, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
The Niners, it's 7-3 now on the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so try to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here. That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
And now they'll throw with Lance. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll let it fly for Austin. It got his man complete. Touchdown, 49ers. Calvin Austin, 68 yards. And the 49ers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. McCann's got it teed up. Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Hill now to throw. That's complete to Troutman right side. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
So the big play nullified, illegal forward pass.
And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunk of yardage on that play. That pass was illegal.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on third down, Hill. It's caught by Mark Ingram. And boy, he had the marker square in his sights, but a good tackle is going to leave him about a yard or so short. They run, it's Kamara. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. I love those plays. 4th and 1, that's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On the counter, here's Kamara. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Talanoa Hufanga in on the stop. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months. Not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor, the winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. From the gun, here's Hill. And he comes back with one complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Open man is Michael Thomas. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Taysom Hill scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Saints are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week. But here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. you have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to. We still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Lance. They're looking for a killer, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 33. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you could just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
You know, in the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. It's a pickup of 6. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Hill. They'll get this out to Kamara. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Hill. Flush to his right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. Oh, that really would have been something to see, but he's denied by the framework.
Do you remember seeing David Akers in Green Bay a few years ago on opening day? He had a 63-yarder to end the half, hit the crossbar, and go over. So sometimes it works for you, and sometimes it works against you.
And this time, it's against.
Hey, red.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Lance. And this is caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 36 yards on the play.
When they needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
To throw, it's Lance. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Christian McCaffrey with career touchdown number 60. And the 49ers have moved out in front. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. McCann's got it teed up. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. But Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Hill. And that will get to be off target and incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Hill. He finds his man Johnson. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is fielded at the 27. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. On 1st down, Lance. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
So the first thing that crosses my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Hill's throw taken in by Landry. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Throwing on second and long. Hill. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. A shotgun snap for Hill. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Touchdown, Saints. Chris Olave in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. And oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Okay, ready?
And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. Room here to run. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up first and 10 at their own 43. Kamara to try the right side. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Nick Bosa using that speed to get in there and break that play up.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Hill. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick, and the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Lance now on 1st down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And some room to maneuver. 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half. They give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. And that's incomplete. Well, they had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that 2-point conversion. And
I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point, but after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
And, Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and bottom line is protect the football and just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points, but that doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game. Do what you do best on offense and try and put the ball in the end zone yourself. I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used the slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Lance. That's caught by Ayuk on the slant. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. going to throw. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
From midfield, here's Lance. Now Lance throws the interception, his third. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Hill. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. There's Hill. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga.
Well, nursing such a small lead, you thought he'd take better care of the football after his last drive. Now for the 2nd straight possession, he's put all the pressure right back on his defense. They need to take a stand and hold that lead.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
Lance now on 1st down. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Lance. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll let it fly for Austin. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And that kick will go out of bounds right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Hill. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
And he's got it. Touchdown 49ers. Andy Isabella, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Niners have taken a 4th quarter lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
In motion left is a running back. Grant's going to try to throw for this. And no, incomplete. They can't convert. So they tried to bump the lead up to a field goal. Instead, it stays at 1 here in the 4th. McCann's got it teed up. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Play action. It's Hill. This one complete to Ingram. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Here's Hill now on 2nd down. And his throw is incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
3rd and long. It's Hill. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Desperation time on 4th for Hill. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Here's Lance to throw it.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8.
Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance.
That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Niners get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it.
McCann's got it teed up.
And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
There's still plenty of time here in the 4th quarter. Just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
On 2nd and 12, Hill. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hole.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and forever. Oh, now it's free. Hill fumbled it. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. On 4th down, Hill, he's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Niners look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. McCann's got it teed up. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, Charles, you remember their last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it, but you understand why they did in this close game late. Now, though, the road back is even tougher.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it was fair to look back and say the 4th down was the moment where this one was decided. But as you mentioned, understandable about why they went for it. But, hey, a lot of credit to the guys on the defensive side of the ball. They knew they'd have to defend in that situation, and they got it done.
2nd and 6.
Now it's Hill. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that 1st down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And the Niners are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. That ball complete to Isabella. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Hill now to throw. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Play fake. Hill. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley.
And the 49ers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is